So we are in a very precarious position in this country. We need a political change, but we also need the resolve to resist. Hey, thanks for watching our live stream. I'm the host, David Craig. In the meantime, have a look at some of these clips and take the opportunity, please, to like this broadcast, ring the bell, or subscribe.
And we're stepping up in every way we can because we know that Russia must win this war. That Ukraine must win this war.
But freedom is something you earn every day.
I don't know that the government currently has fiscal anchors.
Your home is your castle. We're calling on the government to introduce and immediately pass the Stand on Guard law.
But we also need to resolve to resist. Welcome back to another episode of Stand on Guard. We have a whole lot of information for you this morning, and we'll be coming back with that. I'm David Creighton, and I'm broadcasting to you live from the Ottawa area. This is going to be a seminal week in the history of Canada. I said that last week over the Freedom Convoy trial and the potential intervention of the Supreme Court at the Universal Ostrich Farms, but this is going to be a very historic week. I'll explain that to some degree when we come back.
The Prime Minister lied and his minions continue to...
Your home is your castle. We're calling on the government to introduce and immediately pass the Stand on Guard law.
But we also need to resolve to resist.
We'll do it live. Okay. We'll do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
I love that. Hey, where did it all go wrong for Katy Perry? That could be the title of this broadcast, and it's still my. Where did it all go wrong for Katy Perry? I was never a fan of Katy Perry. It's not my kind of music. I hate that sort of girl pop that was so popular when she first broke on the scene. I wasn't a fan of Britney Spears either, or for that matter, Taylor Swift. I have a few words about Taylor Swift when this is over. But why is Katy Perry in the news? And I have to say, this is a bit of a joke. I admit, it's a bit of a joke. But I couldn't believe Benny Johnson, my old friend from the Daily Caller. We both worked there at the same time when Benny was basically just starting out as a very witty, very flippant, very in-your-face reporter. And I was trying to find my way at that time in journalism because I had been out of it for so many years. I'd been a public affairs officer in the Air Force. I'd been a parliamentary Hill communications guy, and I was getting back into journalism after quite some time, at least, straight journalism. And so Daily Caller offered me a job as the Ottawa bureau chief. And at that time, I remember Benny used to make fun of Justin Trudeau all the time. It was, I did too, but he got away with more than I did, which is funny. As a Canadian, they wouldn't let me say some of the things I wanted to say about Justin Trudeau. But here's Benny talking about this great romance between Katy Perry and our own Justin Trudeau. And I just think he sums this up very well in terms of these people really deserve each other. And, well, let's watch it. I'll comment afterwards.
Got Spenny. Thank God Justin Trudeau is no longer Canada's prime minister, I guess, for Canada. I'm not sure it's any better right now, but this dude was just a complete total asshat. I mean, look at this. He was incapable of walking without knocking over some potted plant. Who knows? Is it some type of priceless antique, or is it just him being adult? He's waving at absolutely nobody here. It's so humiliating. It's so embarrassing. What is going on? Canada, you obviously deserve better. Justin Trudeau doesn't. Justin Trudeau got divorced and left his wife of like 30 years, and he has like kids with her and everything. And, you know, it's just like the most terrible thing for anyone to do. There were lots of rumors of Justin Trudeau doing tons of drugs and, you know, having a super creepy personal life. He's obviously a very creepy individual. But what Justin Trudeau does deserve is potentially somebody who, well, falls just like him. And this is why I'm very glad that Justin Trudeau has been able to potentially find his soulmate. Look at that. There we go. The similarities are remarkable. This is Katy Perry. Katy Perry, very similar falling style like Justin Trudeau. She just kind of face plants there and tries to save face, but instead just ends up humiliating herself a little bit more.
Now, I just have to interject there because Katy Perry's act is basically a striptease act, except she doesn't take everything off. And that's exactly what Taylor Swift does. I'm sorry, but 10, 12-year-old girls should not be thinking Taylor Swift is a role model. If you want to see Taylor Swift show, you can go down the street and go to a strip club, and you'll see basically the same thing, except a little more flesh. But Taylor Swift is incredibly vulgar in the way she conducts herself on stage, and little kids, little girls shouldn't be watching it. They shouldn't be in the concert. And the parents who have the absolute lack of mentality, lack of sense to bring them there should be chastised for doing so. But I say too much. Well,
two were meant to be together. And according to rumors, well, they are together. And this is what popped up a couple of months ago of Katy Perry and Justin Trudeau having a snack in Montreal, I think. Yeah. Anyway, they were spotted on what many said was a date. I mean, from behind, it might be actually Tucker Carlson. We don't know. We don't know. And I don't want terrible rumors to pop up. But somebody did pop up at a Katy Perry concert, and that would be Justin Trudeau. Justin Trudeau is seen bopping around and hanging out at a Katy Perry concert. And, you know, it's kind of, it's hard to watch, honestly. Like, this guy was a well, pretty robust world leader, right? Like, he was famous, at least. It's like super famous. And, you know, people somewhat cared what he had to say and took him seriously. I didn't, but like some of the world did. It's Canada after all, right? It's America's hat. So there's some value in it. And here he is belting out the tunes to Katy Perry songs in a poorly attended Katy Perry concert in Toronto. Anyway, the point is that, well, now that Justin Trudeau is out of a job and has been kicked out of his party and I think kicked out of Canada, they might deport him. I don't know. Back to Cuba? I'm not sure. But his communist girlfriend would love that because now they are actually dating. Eye-popping pictures prove that Katy Perry and Justin Trudeau are, in fact, a couple passionate kisses, roaming hands. And after Orlando Bloom split, friends, tell us exactly what's going on. Okay, here are the photos.
There they are, folks.
There, oh boy. And this is them on some yacht somewhere. Got it? All right. It's official after months of feverish romance rumors. The Mail on Sunday can confirm that Katy Perry is definitely dating former Canadian Prime Minister. The loved-up couple was spotted kissing and cuddling on board Perry's 24-meter yacht in Carvilla, off the coast of Santa Barbara, as our exclusive photographs show. Perry's 40 and famous for including I Kissed a Girl and I Liked It. And, well, the jokes just write themselves, honestly. Remember, this is the guy that took his sons to the Barbie premiere and took his daughter to the Oppenheimer premiere. So exciting times. Trudeau is 53. He placed his hands on the singer's bottom. The pair kicked off with speculation of the budding romance in July when they were spotted having an intimate dinner at the restaurant in Montreal. However, both have refused to comment about their relationship status. Oh boy. There are
They're
more
sleeping
photos.
together.
And
That's the relationship status.
it's almost like they were trying to do this, right? Like, obviously, pictures were taken by a passersby on a tourist boat. The witness said she pulled up her boat, a small plastic whale watching boat, and they started making out and didn't realize that it was Justin Trudeau. Okay. I saw the tattoo on the guy's arm. Oh, got it. Glad that Justin Trudeau was not wearing blackface, just for all of us. Maybe I'm not glad. That would have been that would have been a better headline, maybe. Anyway, the point is that well, they're going to be the world's most insufferable couple. One pretended to be an astronaut, one pretended to be a prime minister. There we go. Here's how the internet is reacting. Grammy Award-winning singer Katy Perry and Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau spotted kissing on the board a yacht. Okay. If there's one thing anyone in crypto can tell you about Katy Perry, is that she always appears next to men that are about to go down. She's like one of the hospice cats that knows when somebody is about to die. She appeared next to men and busted for financial crime. Oh my. Beware of the Katy Perry curse. Oh, okay. Uh-oh. All right. No, okay. Yeesh. Yikes. Same. Oh, okay. Bitcoin, Ethereum. Okay. It's official, Katy Perry and Justin Trudeau are a couple downgraded from Orlando Bloom, which means her next boyfriend will be Dylan Mulvaney. Castro lineage continues. Katy Perry bedded former Canadian Prime Minister, love child of Fidel Castro. She kissed a commie and she liked it. Oh, that's good. That's good. I like that. Trudeau messed up Canada so bad he's trying to get his green card. Stop showing me Trudeau and Perry making out. What did I do to deserve this? U.S. Katy Perry and Justin Trudeau spotted together on a $4 million yacht in Santa Barbara. Most cursed couple ever. Space Barbie and trucker dictator not on my bingo card. There you go. Yeah, boy. Okay.
I got one more comment from Benny. I don't often show stuff from Benny because I mean he posts a lot. And like I say, I don't like to use other people's material. I like to do my own original interviews, my own material. But that was just, I couldn't do any better than that. That was just wonderful. And like I said, if you think Taylor Swift is any better than Katy Perry, you're wrong. And you should not be taking your 12-year-old daughter to see some woman spread her legs in front of on the stage, shake her bum in front of people, and basically do an old burlesque show. That's all she's doing. And that's what it comes down to with Taylor Swift. She can't really market herself beyond sexuality. She has to do the added benefit. It's a burlesque show with the top pop tunes of the day. Which actually, come to think of it, that's what a burlesque show is all about. Here, I think Benny ends this perfectly.
My take on this is they deserve each other, and they're incredibly intolerable and very unhappy libs. And they are also in love with communism. And so those kind of people that are extremely self-serving and extremely narcissistic and nihilistic, like, end up with each other and they just end up miserable. You know, the two of these people have like sort of destroyed their lives, destroyed their careers. And I'm saying this, I said at the start, like, I don't wish them ill will. I'm saying that they deserve each other. That's it. Say they deserve each other. And just one last romp here, because I just can't help myself. It's just, in case you need any further evidence, they literally deserve each other. This is what they do in public in Canada. The question is, will Katy Perry move to Canada? That would be then one more tick of the box of some like left-wing celebrity lib who has left America, which would be awesome. And will she take the giant dildo rocket to Canada in order to move up there? These are unanswered questions, and I sure as heck do hope that we answer them one of these days. Anyway, best of luck.
Yeah, best of luck, you too. Stay out of this. This is fascinating news. The last 2 days I meant to show you this one, but this is incredible. This is why the Liberals want to shut down social media, and they're doing that with at least 3 bills. They want to shut down social media because social media is now the media of choice for most Canadians. Most Canadians are getting their news not from the old mainstream media. And how many times have I told you this? How many times have you been told this by other people? That nobody's watching CBC anymore except people maybe 70 to 75 years of age. Yeah, they're still watching CBC. Young people don't watch CBC. They think it's bullshit, and it is. They don't believe what CTV says, and they look very critically at global news. And do you think the Globe and Mail has the prestige it once did? People know it's just putting out government lies. So this is where we are at here. This is where we're at in this country. People are not watching the mainstream media. So it's very nice to report that. Now, I wanted to show you something here, and I have to go to my. No. All right. Share the screen. All right. All right. This is so tragic. How many of you who live in Ontario used to take your children to see Marineland? This is a tragic article, a tragic thing. And I had no idea it was this bad. But does this remind you at all about what's going on in British Columbia with the ostriches? They want to so-called, euthanize. They want to kill all of these beluga whales rather than send them out of the country. Yeah, it's preferable to kill them. This Liberal government is so brain dead. It just makes me wonder if they ever have, if the synapses have stopped in the minds of most of these cabinet ministers who are morons. This is the most moronic cabinet ever assembled in Canada. Thank you, Mark Carney. Why did you assemble the most moronic cabinet in the history of Canada? Because you are every cabinet minister. You think you can do the job for everybody. So you've got a bunch of incompetents running the show, from Sean Fraser at Attorney General to Gary Anand Angry, I think his name is, at Public Safety. The list goes on and on and on. The most incompetent cabinet in history. So if you read this story, you find out this woman was a trainer, beluga whales, and they basically fired her for saying they want to destroy all these animals. For why? Because, well, it's the policy. I'm sorry, it's the policy. Just like it's the policy to kill all those ostriches at the Universal Ostrich Farms in BC. This is absolutely disgusting. But this is where this country is going. And I can't emphasize how incredibly stupid this is. But I've got another one to show you here. And this is incredible. I agree. I just got this one. Where is it? Yeah, here it is. There it is. This is an incredible story. This guy is walking down Hastings Street. Now, people in my church just got back from Vancouver, and they said they took a walk down Hastings Street too. And it was literally littered. Maybe that's not the right word, but that's exactly what it looked like. Littered with drug addicts and people on the street, homeless people, and of course, drug paraphernalia everywhere, because Vancouver is a #1 supporter of so-called, how do they describe that now? It's in those injection sites. They're harm reduction, right? And they're safe injection sites. No, they're not safe. You can go to a safe injection site and die of an overdose an hour later. This is absolute idiocy. But here's a guy, and this to me exhibits what's wrong with our policy towards so-called Indigenous or First Nations people. I was going to say Native people. I'm sick of toadying to people who want to be better than you, who think they have special rights, special status in this country. This guy was accosted, threatened, because he was filming on the streets of Hastings. And this guy here said, "This is my streets, my country." Sorry, bozo. If you're Canadian, It's all of ours. You don't have any special status. You have no special rights. And if you do, we've got to get that recalled because that is what's wrong with Canada. Special status, special rights for special people. That's over. And the Conservative Party better get behind that, or else God help this country. Now, I've got some more to show you here. Yeah, I know I'm saying some controversial things today, but that's why you tune in. Want to go to my X account here because we've got lots of material. This is incredible stuff. Just incredible. All right. Okay, Kayla Pollock has been on my show, and I think I've reposted just about everything she ever puts out. Here's Kayla talking about what the damn government has done.
So I recently decided to post an old video that gives the basic story of what happened to me. And I posted the video, I don't know, a couple weeks ago. And I cannot believe the amount of hate that I'm getting from posting what happened to me. I mean, the first thing that happened is Instagram immediately pulled it off because I can't possibly be paralyzed by the COVID-19 shot that the government gave us. And then after that, I had the same thing happen with TikTok, and my Instagram account was removed. And I think I have strikes against me or something in TikTok. I don't use it that often, so I'm not sure. And then the people's reactions on here some of them are just disgusting. Like I've had people say like, if you are in a wheelchair, you should drive it off a cliff because no one believes you anyway. Or, you chose to take the jab, so now screw you if you're sitting in a wheelchair. We have better things to deal with and more important things than you. And just really hateful comments that I get. And I just wanted to let you guys know that I'm not sure I made the right decision reposting this video, but it seems that the comments are getting more and more hateful, and I don't know if others are feeling that pull. So I just kind of wanted to ask other people if they're feeling like comments are getting more hateful or what's going on here.
Okay, Kayla, here's my question for you. And I'm going to have you on the show again to talk about this. Why would anybody be hateful because you once had your health? And why would anybody be hateful because you're not getting any support from the government? You're not getting any assistance. You've got nothing. The government has offered you medical assistance in dying twice. That's what you've gotten. This is an absolute outrage for me. I can't believe people are that stupid, that heartless. And they would actually think that Kayla's getting something out of this because she shows an old video of herself when she had her health. This country is going off the edge. Now, I want to show you 5 minutes of this because this is incredible stuff, okay? This is incredible stuff. This is from Dave Belinsky, Universal Ostrich Farm co-owner. Is given 5 minutes by the goddamn Canadian Food Inspection Agency, a criminal organization, to visit Spirit and Ostrich previously injured by helicopters and drones, frightening the animals from above the pen. The CFIA agents are hidden behind white DuPont Tyvek coveralls, hazmat wear, masks, and fashion sunglasses. One CFIA agent, known as Courtney Fotheringham, the male CFI agent, claimed he was a vet but refused his name. Well, now it starts about 5 minutes in, so I'm going to move. Here we go.
And she's had access to food and hay.
And where was she this morning?
The same spot. She's been in this area moving around.
Yesterday she was here.
Yeah.
Okay, but if she was fed today, access to food and water, she's got water there, zero food.
Right?
Dave, she just said that she was here when we were feeding, and she's been moved over there since we sent her this morning.
Okay, she was over there this morning.
Over here this morning.
Have you taken the temperature at all like that? Not today, no. Yesterday? Yesterday she was a little hypothermic. Oh, sorry. Yesterday her temperature was
How much? Sorry.
38 and a half.
And what did you use for taking temperature?
We just had a
Sorry? Yeah. Please, yeah.
we just estimated based on her condition. Like yesterday she
Oh, you estimated
yeah.
what her temperature was?
Yeah.
You didn't take
We
it?
did not take it tomorrow. We did not
So, just looking at her, you can tell me that she's about 38 and a half degrees? Is that what you're saying? Is she dehydrated?
Yeah, she was
Okay, what's your solution for fixing the dehydration?
we can talk about that, but
No. What's your solution for that?
we're monitoring her water intake. Dave. That's what we're doing.
And how are you monitoring water intake?
Looking what she's drinking.
And how many other birds have access to that water?
Yesterday we had them all out. This morning when we came in, they had broken through this gate. So
We're trying.
Okay, note, people, how one of these goons, and these are nothing but goons. They don't know F all about what they're doing. One of the goons takes off his sunglasses and his mask. Oh, I thought you were concerned about these birds being a health hazard. Maybe that's why it took you a couple of days to put on your hazmat costumes. These goons are going to be held accountable for their actions.
Anybody else coming in?
I have replied.
Okay, so there's birds in here with her right now. So how much water do you think she has drank, and how much water have the other birds drank?
I'm not sure.
You're not sure. Okay. So I'm suggesting that she's not drinking. Look in her beak.
Yeah, she is dehydrated.
No, look in her beak.
I did this morning.
And see that?
Yeah.
That's a bunch of dirt in her friggin' beak. There's no water. If she was drinking, it wouldn't look like that.
So what do you suggest?
Yeah, she definitely needs tubing.
Yeah, probably that.
Electrolyte. Well, what would you give her?
Treatment.
Scoundrels.
Karen.
She's not a veterinarian.
Hey, you tell me an Ostrich veterinarian in BC.
Veterinarians will come out, David, if you can
Sure.
If you're getting drugs, then you're getting a veterinarian to give you drugs. So who's the veterinarian to come out?
The veterinarians phone us for advice.
That's not what I'm asking.
Yes.
No,
Okay,
I did
what
not
are you
ask
asking?
that. I said to you, who's your veterinarian? We can have them come out.
From Vancouver.
Sure, we can bring them out.
Okay. We would appreciate that. We'll have to call him. But by the time he gets here from Vancouver, what are we going to do in the meantime? Just not treat her?
We are treating her. We've treated her with 2 different antibiotics and Dex.
Yes.
And we're making sure that she has food and water.
She's not drinking. That's what I'm saying. She's not getting any water.
But you're saying that you're assuming that she's not drinking. Because you're not here to see it either.
What's that?
You're not here to see it either.
Sorry,
She said you're not here to see whether or not she's drinking. Okay.
I'm not here to see if she's drinking?
Yes. You also, we fed her this morning. She was over here. She's still moving around.
Oh my God. She is not drinking. She is going to die. She needs to have some electrolyte put into her. She needs water in her. Are you going to wait for the vet to come from Vancouver until that's done?
We can discuss that.
Okay, let's discuss it.
So Dave, let's leave here and then we're going to discuss the treatment plan, okay?
She'll die. Before a vet gets here, another vet, she's going to die. She's not going to live. She's got no water in her. It's... So, do you think this is fractured here?
No.
Let's get the rest of it done.
This is
Mm-hmm.
my concern is she's dead.
Yeah,
She's
she's
I know this is painful to watch. We might come back to it, but there's one person there concerned about what's going on there. Just look at the CFIA response. You think there's a problem here? Do you think we should do something? Well, let's wait till our vet gets here from Vancouver and the bird will be dead. At least 50 birds, possibly more, have perished in the last week or since the CFIA destruction squad has been on the site. If we have to wait another 2 weeks, for the Supreme Court to decide whether to hear this case or not, I predict every bird on that farm will be dead in a completely illegal killing. And that's what the CFIA is trying to do. This is why we need the CFIA off the farm immediately. The occupation must stop, and charges should be levied immediately against the CFIA for animal cruelty. Get these goons off the farm. They have taken over not only Katy's farm, but they've taken over the nearby farm, which happens to be owned by a relative. This is what we're dealing with. This is a completely inhumane, completely off the rails government organization that needs to be disciplined. And my God, we're going to do that. We are going to do that. I encourage you all to have a look at some of the material posted on here. Oh, I can't watch any more of that ostrich video. It is so painful. It is so painful to see what your federal government, what the Carney government is doing here. It is destroying lives. It's destroying this farm. Now, a lot of you have asked me, why did you bring up Justin Trudeau and Katy Perry and all that stuff? I'll tell you why. It was October 19th. A lot of you might remember that. What happened October 19th, 10 years ago? Canada made the fateful decision to elect a Liberal government under the leadership of Justin Trudeau. October 19th, that's this week. 2015. That's 10 years ago. So that's when this all started. That's when we lost control of this country. Justin Trudeau was an emissary from the globalist community. And, we took 9.5 years of that guy. And a lot of people thought, well, it can't get any worse. Yeah, it's got worse. It's the guy who represents, he's emblematic of globalism, became the leader of the Liberal Party, the Prime Minister of Canada, and enough idiots out there made him the Prime Minister of Canada with a minority government. So that all happened 10 years ago. This has been 10 years of systemic and chronic decline. This country is on the precipice of disaster. I say this every day. People are going to say, oh, David, stop talking about those censorship bills. Stop talking about the gun grab. Stop talking about the fact this country has lost its way. No, I can't. And this is why it all comes back to these ostriches and this farm in British Columbia. As so many of you have said over the last 5 months since I've been covering the story, yeah, I get it. Some of you have been saying there's more important things to talk about than ostriches. But the ostriches and this family farm, represent everything Canada should be about, used to be about, but is no longer about. The sanctity of private property. You own that farm. You own your backyard. And the government just couldn't come in and take it over because they claim you have some sick birds on the premises, and they won't even prove it. They won't test the animals. They won't prove it because they're so in bed with big pharma. They won't do a damn thing to back up their own position. That's where we are in Canada right now. We've come to this. And I want to show you this clip here because this is incredible. I can find it here. No, I recorded. Sorry. No, I recorded this. I want to show you this because this is incredible. This is another example of the CBC reporting on a story with Mark Carney front and center, but they don't mention it one time. So let's have a look at this. We just got this in the Dropbox, so give me a minute to find it. It's absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. Here we go. This is that Powell River story we reported on yesterday. And this is absolutely shocking. Here we go.
Again, sending all the power from a local dam to the U.S. for 30 years. Powell River Energy has applied to Canada's energy regulator to approve that deal. And our Maurice Zeidler has been on this story. So, Maurice, what do we know about this application?
So, as you mentioned, the application was submitted by Powell River Energy, Inc. And this is the company that operates the dam that powered the local mill in Powell Rivers from 1910 until 2021. And that's when the mill shut down. Now, since then, the company has been exporting all of its power to the U.S. because, there's no mill. It has to go somewhere. And now that company is applying for a 30-year license, as you mentioned. Now, this is an issue for a lot of people in Powell River because they're actually trying to attract new business and new industry to that old mill site. The Tla'amin First Nation and the Cranberry Business Group have taken over that site, and a big attraction for companies would be all the power that is available there. Now, there is a local residents group called Energy Democracy for BC. Ellen Gould is the president of that group. Here's what she had to say.
How do we know over a 30-year time span whether or not we're going to need that power? And this locks it in for 30 years. There's no wiggle room here. The company will have the right to export for till 2055. So, yeah, it's pretty devastating.
Okay, so definitely concern from people from the region there, but what happens from now?
So originally the deadline to give feedback to Canada's energy regulator was tomorrow. The Tla'amin First Nation applied to extend that deadline by 2 weeks, and they just found out yesterday that application was granted. So now the deadline to give feedback is October 4th. And there is a pretty good chance that feedback could influence the regulator's decision. The company has applied before for a 10-year license, which was unsuccessful. And so now there is a chance that decision could be changed. I also just want to clarify, I did hear back from BC's energy ministry, and they said that BC Hydro is also trying to gain access to that power for local purposes under the fair market access rules from the regulator.
This is beyond disgusting. I don't know where to go with this because we showed you the story to you yesterday. And by the way, I incorrectly attributed the breaking of this story to another broadcaster. It's Mark Nixon, my good friend, who's done some fantastic work. He's been on the show and will be on again. Thank you, Mark, for breaking the story because it was from September. But I tell you, the mainstream media has ignored this. CBC did a report, but did you notice they didn't talk about, oh, what's the name of that firm that's going to be selling the energy for 30 years? Yeah, 30 years. Oh, it's Brookfield. Yeah, it's a Mark Carney assignment. Can you imagine, dear viewers, if Brian Mulroney had owned and Brian Mulroney did not have a lot of financial investments compared to Mark Carney. Can you imagine if Brian Mulroney had have benefited from a sale of a major energy contract while he was prime minister? Well, you would never have heard the end of it. Can you imagine if Stephen Harper, who actually had no business concerns, his whole life was politics. You know, he was an MP at a very young age. He went into the national, he went into advocacy programs. So it's not like Stephen Harper had a portfolio like Mark Carney has that goes around the world and back. He's got his tentacles everywhere as a globalist. He's got investments around the world, especially in the United States. So here we are, Mark Carney pretending he's so opposed to the United States. He's so opposed to America during the election campaign. Now, of course, he actually is sucking up to President Donald Trump to the extent that he has called him a transformational president 3 times since winning the election. He calls him Mr. President. Now, I love Donald Trump, but Mark Carney is a rank, stinking hypocrite because he won the election telling his geriatric followers. And somebody once called me on here an elder Canadian. I'm sorry, I've got my age wrong. But the geriatrics who voted for Mark Carney are going to be mighty, mighty disappointed when he takes away their home equity. They're going to be very upset when they realize he was only kidding with Donald Trump. And that's just the beginning. Never mind U.S. tariffs. We're going to be under the thumb of China under Mark Carney. So that's where we are. And, you know, I showed that video, like I said, of Justin Trudeau, because it's been 10 deadly years. And I remember that election, October 19th, 2015, like it was yesterday. And I said at the time, God help this country. We've elected a man who is going to take us down a path of destruction. And that's exactly what has happened. That's exactly what has happened. We'll be right back after we showcase our merchandise. Thank you so much for watching today. And we will be having on the Premier of Alberta, Daniel Smith, tomorrow. I've decided to do that in a morning show. Be interviewing here this afternoon for a show tomorrow. Please watch that. I think Danielle has some important things to say about the future of not just Alberta, but of Canada. And she is my favorite premier. I don't think there's anybody else there who's as principled a conservative as she is. I know she has her faults. We all do. But in terms of Canadian politics, I'm grateful she's out there. She's a fantastic woman and a very, very good premier. Thanks for watching. We'll be back again tomorrow. Bye for now.